Every morning when you wake up, you're not just opening your eyes to a new day, you're stepping into a choice. You can either let the world decide your emotions, thoughts, and actions, or you can consciously reprogram your mind to live the way you truly want. Jim Rohn once said, "You must stand guard at the door of your mind every day, or someone else will fill it with garbage." That means if you don't start your day with powerful, positive thoughts, the noise and negativity around you will take control instead. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools to master your mindset is the habit of talking to yourself each morning. The words you whisper while brushing your teeth, making coffee, or getting ready will set the emotional frequency and energy for your entire day. Jim Rohn emphasized that everyone should build a personal morning ritual to strengthen belief and direction. So, what are the sentences that can reprogram your mind, lift your energy, and awaken your spirit of action? Jim Rohn discovered 5 simple yet transformative affirmations that he repeated every morning. These weren't just reminders. They were keys to unlock a new way of thinking, and from that, a new way of living. The first one he always said was, "I am responsible for my life." It sounds simple, but few people truly live by it. How many of us blame the situation, other people, the past, or fate for where we are? Only when you look in the mirror and tell yourself, "Every result I have today comes from what I've chosen or allowed," will you begin to change. Responsibility is not a burden, it's power. It turns you from a victim into the creator of your life. Each morning when you say those words, you remind yourself, "I won't hide, I won't complain, I will learn, and I will move forward." The second affirmation Jim Rohn loved was, "I can't control everything, but I can always control how I respond." This is the foundation of inner strength. Life can throw anything at you: job loss, betrayal, illness, bad news. But there's still one thing that belongs entirely to you: your reaction. Your reaction shapes your destiny, not the event itself. The morning is the best time to repeat this truth because your mind is clear and untouched by emails, drama, or stress. When you remind yourself, "I can't control how today unfolds, but I can control my attitude," you walk into the day as a warrior, not a victim. You act instead of react. You choose instead of being pushed. And suddenly, everything feels lighter and clearer. The third phrase Jim often shared with his students was, "Every day, I am getting closer to the best version of myself." This is not just motivation, it's an acceptance. You don't have to be perfect today. You just have to keep growing. When you remind yourself of this every morning, you awaken commitment, belief, and patience. So many people quit not because they lack ability, but because they don't realize that growth takes time. They compare themselves to others and feel not good enough. But when you say, "I'm getting closer every day," you stop competing and start staying consistent. And consistency, not talent, is what builds success. The fourth affirmation Jim Rohn lived by was, "I choose to take action even when I don't feel ready." This single line can change the trajectory of your entire life. The truth is, inspiration rarely comes first, action does. Most people wait to feel ready, confident, or inspired before they start. But as Jim said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Action breaks laziness, fear, and hesitation. When you tell yourself each morning, "Even if I don't feel ready, I will act," you raise your standards. You're no longer controlled by fleeting feelings, but by long-term commitment. That's what separates the 10% who create from the 90% who wait. The fifth and most powerful affirmation is, "I know why I'm doing this." Jim Rohn often said, "If you have a big enough reason, you can overcome any obstacle." Morning is the time to reconnect with that reason. It could be your family, your dream, your freedom, or proving something to yourself. Whatever it is, remind yourself every morning why you began. People lose willpower because they lose connection with their why. They get caught in duties, routines, and noise, and forget the purpose behind it all. But when you wake up and say, "I'm doing this for my children, for my future, for my promise to myself," you ignite a fire inside. That fire becomes your fuel for discipline, courage, and success. These 5 affirmations may seem simple, but they are not magic formulas. Their power comes from repetition. When you say them often enough, they carve new patterns into your subconscious. And when your thinking changes, your behavior changes. When behavior changes, results change. And when results change, your entire life transforms. You don't need to write them on a board or keep them in a notebook. The key is to say them out loud with your own voice, so your mind can hear them and your heart can believe them. This tiny habit, done daily, can rebuild your entire mental operating system, turning you from someone who reacts to life into someone who leads it. Jim Rohn taught that it's not what you do occasionally that shapes your life, but what you do consistently. So make these affirmations your personal morning ritual. When you first open your eyes, before you grab your phone, take a few seconds and whisper, "I am responsible for my life." That's your first act of mental ownership. When you're brushing your teeth, look into your own eyes and say, "I can't control everything, but I can control how I respond." When you're making coffee, remind yourself, every day, "I am getting closer to the best version of myself." Before you begin your work, say, "I choose to act even when I don't feel ready." And before you step out into the world, take a deep breath and affirm, "I know why I'm doing this." All of that takes less than 5 minutes, but the effect lasts all day. These affirmations align your emotions, sharpen your focus, and keep you grounded in who you want to be. Practice them for 21 days, and you'll begin to see real change. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. And when you change, the world reflects that change back to you. You don't have to wait for a new year to rebuild your life. All it takes is one morning, one decision to say to yourself, "I deserve a better life, and I'm starting to build it today." These 5 affirmations are the first bricks in that foundation, a stronger, wiser, more disciplined you. Jim Rohn was once an ordinary man with no special talent or advantage. But he decided to change the way he talked to himself. He fed his mind every morning with empowering words. And those words became actions. Those actions became results. And those results created a remarkable life. You can do the same. You don't have to announce your change to the world. Just whisper it to your own heart every morning. "I am responsible for my life. I choose to act. I am getting closer to my best self. I know why I must keep going." Those quiet words will become your fire in the dark, your compass through fear, doubt, and hesitation. Because true transformation begins not with the world around you, but with the conversation within you.